Welcome to another episode of Slender Sense. This is our session from West End, Brisbane, where they have so much wall space that every climb feels like you're in a comp. This V2 or 3 has some slopey jugs in awkward positions to start with. The left foot flag provides the ability to move across. Again with the left foot flag, this time I skipped the first slopey jug, opting for the latter. A very deep squat, as I was actually very intimidated by this jump. Here's Ryan in slomo. He barely sinks into a 90-degree squat, driving through the legs while pulling the body in and levitating to the sloper. We all flashed that one. The sloper catch is actually a very good hold. Now to the V2-3 slab. Behind Trey's torso is a right hand starting crimp. Relying on that and the volume, he's able to establish his foot on that left-handed starting hold, swap hands and lean over with a big wave. Reach that jug while planting his right hand low on the volume to keep his weight close to the wall. A foot match and stepping across, he can now match hands and fiddle with the next green hold. This is a flash attempt and he hasn't seen the beta yet. But he quickly figures it out, establishes his center of gravity above the hold so he can press to the finish. Ryan displaying some hip mobility, foot to hand, then swapping hands on the crimp to reach across. Tempted to go right hand to the jug. This would probably require a quick left hand palm on the volume and hopping to the next volume. Instead he goes with Trey's hand wave beta and then adds his own touch by going dynamically over the volumes into the press finish. That's also his first attempt. Kaylee using a blend of Trey and Ryan's beta to establish that left foot, but it doesn't work out. Here's me using Trey's method to establish the foot. The wave really felt unstable at first and I didn't trust that my body would stay on the wall. So here's a Hail Mary for the jug right-handed. Not going to happen. I did feel something stretch attempting the wave and I'm about to describe how fun, I reiterate fun, it was attempting that move. I think this was my fourth attempt, an unusual display of hip mobility. I really just want to grab that with my right. Don't have the wingspan body. Now I could have lowered my hand towards the edge of the volume, but I was trusting the friction to maintain balance. Trey's beta on repeat for you with my body rocking over the right leg. I probably could pogo to the press, really testing that pop filter. But like Trey, I reach over for that reassurance to stand up to finish. Now Kaylee's back on the wall, the muscle memory kicking in. A beautiful foot pivot. Really, just look at that pivot. Feeling her way around this volume for a stable position. Her first attempt at the wave, her right hand is too high. Briefly tempted to go right hand first before returning to the stable position, adjusting her right hand on the volume to stabilize her moving center of gravity as she secures the left hand of the jug. From this position she can't see with it the next volume, and so we spray some beta in her general direction and she breezes through the finish again with Trey's beta. This was likely the intended beta, if not one of them. A weird start on this probably V1. The crux is turning your body around and across the face of the boulder. Trey does this by reaching across with his left to the crimp, lowering his center of gravity. Now he can embrace the barn door into a flag, traversing to a slopey jug where he can set up his center of gravity above that right foot. Minimal effort required to stay here, so he can easily plan his finishing moves. Almost identical to Trey, the left arm lock off and a right on the volume to swing across. A slight deviation with a lock off right to reach the jug. This method will have burned more energy using the biceps, whereas Trey used his legs to power to this position. I probably wouldn't do this if I were on a cliff, just saying. Skipping holds and relying on reach for this finish, the safer method would have been to press through the slopers. Again, another deviation with Kaylee matching the crimp. It is a joggy sort of crimp, so she swings and pushes back to establish her left foot in this new beta. This is the method I was talking about. If my life were depending on it, you'd bet I'd be doing the same thing. Her body practically on the wall, she's able to feel around and work out her next move. Cheeky drop knee to finish, beautiful work Kaylee. Trey going straight to the rail volume, having a little feel of those holds but realises he needs to change it up. Spots the right volume, so now he can pinch with the left, and a left foot flag gives him the ability to reach the juggy crimp. Now it's basically a ladder through the slopers to the finish. So I'm going straight to the volume rail, to the second volume, a foot match, step up, eyeing off the pinch. Now this is subtle, but I shift my weight over my toe and edge my left foot across to counterbalance the release of the rail. Now I'm looking for a flag, but end up toe hooking the volume to reach the juggy crimp, and the rest is near identical to Trey. This slab traverse was wicked fun. Here's Trey on his flash attempt, establishing in a press. The first two volumes are slightly positive, so Trey can walk up the foot chip and stand on the first sloper, which is actually negative. The angle is slightly greater than 90 degrees from the wall, but that's why we wear climbing shoes, right? So he fiddles with that and crosses over to the second sloper with his right foot, while grabbing the third volume, which is actually trash. Slightly negative and so very slopey. No problem for the surgeon though, as he adjusts his feet accordingly and speeds through the final positive volume to the finish. Here I go. Perhaps would have been more efficient to cross the feet to the first chip. There is a potential barn door here, but my fat ass keeps me on, so I can step up, bring my weight close to the wall, and you can tell I don't like the sloper. I'm trying to figure out a press here. Raising my weight so I can step up before matching that slopey volume. Notice my elbow pointing up the wall, that's so I can keep my weight as close to the wall as possible. There we go, gets the left thumb press and some pivoting and reach over to top it. Ryan gets the foot crossover I was talking about, so smooth to the sloper. Some readjustment on the volume, edging ever so close to get that positive volume. And it's too easy for him. Thanks for watching. If you made it to the end, consider subscribing to support the channel. If you don't want to be tied down, any other engagement goes a long way. See you in the next one.